Hi all! Doing something a little bit different today. We are taking a look at a Face It Masters game, so somewhat pro players, and talking about Kiriko. I have a foundational game plan basically for her. What do you do on Kiriko, right? What are the priorities? So number one is safety. Is the most important thing. You want to stay alive. Um, You want to do things. You want to be able to Suzu your team. You don't want to get your TP and Suzu forced too early for no reason. You know, if you're dead, you're not doing anything, right? Um, this is especially something for Kiriko as well, because she's often played in Kiriko Lucio comps, which means that she would be the main source of healing, which means if she's dead, it's kind of over. Um, in this case, we have Kiriko Bap. So it's not as important, but some of the other examples are Kiri Lucio, and in general, it's still a very good game plan to have. The second priority is pressure. Um, Basically, just do damage, shoot people. You have kunais. They do infinite damage. They do a bunch of headshot damage. You can just spam them down a choke. It doesn't matter. Just keep shooting them. Just might as well, right? Um, Pressure also means being able to see them, being in a position that lets you do the pressure, that lets you shoot people. Um, and then the third thing is your team. So be in a position where you can Suzu them. Be in a position where you can heal them in between your shots. Be in a position that has a TP out, especially for safety, but also for your team. It is very important to TP out. Um, to know there's a specific location, a specific teammate that you can TP to that will be safe, that you can help or whatever that will be useful, right? Yeah. And all of these three things are important. Like, you can't be on a position that is just safe. Then you're losing out on all of these other things. You can't be in a position that is safe and does pressure, but you can't see your team because you need to Suzu them, right? You need to heal them. Um, you still need like a baseline value of being able to at least see your team. So all three things need to be fulfilled, but I would see giving up some time and some resources on your team to do more pressure, right? Or a safer position that does more damage is better than a safer position that just heals your team, right? Um, so let's see how the pro players um, deal with it, how they do it. Start with a Violet. Here you go. So get to see a little bit of the pre-fight setup. Um, Pre-fight setup, right? Um, you could see Kiriko was around here. She was shooting. She has vision of everything, right? Um, Now she moved over. She's over here. She still has vision of everything, right? She can shoot all of these people. She can heal her Orisa, right? Um, and she's close enough to both her Freya and um, all of her other teammates to turn around and heal them, or to turn around and TP to them if she needs to. Especially the BAP and the Sombra are very safe TPs. The Freya is more important that she heals her a bit. They play together, right? One other thing that can notice is that the Kiriko started here, but then she went over here. This kind of does nothing. In general, you see, she's still seeing these three people either way. The difference is these people. Because of her aggressive position, Kiriko was able to see that Genji and Hazard were staging a dive. But this also means that she could move from her location to a safer one. Right? This is still not like she's not hiding or anything. She's still doing pressure, she's still doing damage. This is still a good position, but she's already adapted and moved a little bit to stay safe. Okay, let's see how it develops. Still shooting. And then we're not. And then we drop for point. So the problem with this is I'll start you off back a little bit where we were before. So in this position, we have Kiriko and Freya and Orisa, and they're shooting and shooting. Bap and Sombra are kind of dicking around in the corner, but it's fine, right? This means that these three people trying to walk up, they're being shot the entire time, right? They're taking damage, they can't just walk up for free. Basically, we have maybe this amount of space? Like approximately, right? Probably it drops off this. But in general, the Orisa extends our space quite a bit. But then, watch what happens. I assume it's like a just go back cap point call. Right. Drop. Orisa falls back. And now, if you look at the position now, Kiriko, Freya, Bap are all here, are barely doing anything. The Kiriko is doing nothing. The Bap is... I mean, he jumps back down. Kind of weird. He's also doing nothing. The Freya is... She's a little bit stuffed out because she doesn't have any help. Because Kiriko and Bap are tapping and doing nothing. So there's a little bit of pressure, but it's like half a player, right? And Orisa is kind of here alone, and she's being forced out by 5 people right now. So, the thing is, if you look at now what the space is, you have like this, pretty much. Everything else has now been taken over by this enemy core. And I mean, in a second, your Orisa's getting forced out, pretty much. And the reason this happens is because now you can see this measly Orisa angle and this very weak and stunted Freya angle is like 2 half players maybe shooting and pressuring. But before it was Kiriko, Freya, Orisa all shooting. It was 3 players and now it's like 2 half players shooting. Like 1 player versus 3, right? It's 1/3 of the pressure that these people have to go through. And now Genji and Haz have also come together here. But yeah. The Kiriko, basically, is now in a safe position, but it's a position that does no pressure. And because Kiriko is doing no pressure, everyone else has to do less pressure. Everyone else can take less pressure. All of the pressure is now going on this Orisa, instead of being split between Kiriko and Freya and whoever. And, no one's being forced out, because they're not taking any damage, because no one's doing any damage, because Violet is just, like, sitting here and staring at the wall. He's healing her a little bit. Feels good, huh? Taking the objective. He sees nothing. He has no vision. He's not doing anything. And now they've taken the high ground. Now the worst thing has happened. and we have no space at all anymore. And especially on this point, it's really bad because now we have like this line, and for some reason there's no reset taking space. Everything else is taken over by the enemy team, and this space here is really fucking awful. Like, these two are so dead. They're not doing anything, and they're just getting shot from the top from a free angle. And now, because Orisa obviously realizes this is really bad, they can't have this high ground. So she tries to walk on it and immediately dies. Both Freya and Bap were so far back, we're doing nothing. No pressure, no healing, no nothing. Just sitting there and staying safe. No value. And now the Orisa's dead. And in a second, the rest of the team is dead too, and we lose the fight. Bap's dead, and Kiri's dead. And why did that happen? It's because we gave this high ground. It's because we stopped pressuring. It's because we played only for safety and not for the other priorities. Right? You need to do everything. You can't just be safe, you need to do everything. Okay. Next fight. Let's start with a setup overview again. Fine. So Kiriko is here in the middle. She sees the entire fucking map. She can shoot. She can heal both of her teammates. And somewhere over here, there's a Juno that she can TP out to. Honestly, perfect position. Great stuff. Now let's see what we do with it. Again, we're pressuring, we're trying to shoot people, we see the rotate happening. We see the Haz staging for a dive, we walk away from him. And now we drop. So, you know, let's go look at this again from what we had and what we have now. We had, basically, this part of the map, pretty much, right? And all of it is Kiriko shooting, Freya shooting, Juno shooting, Orisa shooting. Everyone's doing something. Everyone's pressuring at the enemy team. And then Orisa walks back. Honestly, the Kiriko walk to the right side is pretty good because it means we're walking away from the hazard, right? Now we still have to some degree this wall, right? This is still good. We still have this high ground. Now watch what happens next. Window and drop. So, you know, I understand. Window cast is pretty scary. One thing I'd like to say is that we kind of gave this to them. You know, the Orisa walked back a lot. Like, just a few... Oops. Just a few moments ago, the Orisa was playing right here. They could not have windowed this. Right? But it's fine, you know, the Orisa was getting poked, so she walked back a bit. That's not the worst thing. Probably just the beginning of the end. But now, we've given it all up. We've dropped completely. And as Freya, as Kiriko, We really, really, really need to keep this space. We really need to keep this high ground. And it's fine, you know, kite the window, whatever. Then go over here, go over here. Right, the Juno, she gets it. And you know what, for Freya? It's not even that bad. You can just, like, fly up. But Kiriko, you need to wall climb up this wall or waste TP. So unless I'm seeing Violet, like, immediately beeline it to this wall and go up and help Orisa, you know, this is like a bad position because now Kiriko sees nothing. She sees nothing. She has no value, no Suzu, no damage, no pressure, no healing, nothing. Let's see what happens without anything from our Kiriko. Okay, you just see a wall. Looking at a wall, looking at a wall. Looking at a wall. Now TP Suzu, and we get punished.
What's up?
The only reason we have to TP Suzu is because we're not doing anything.
Ready to activate the EMP.
Like, we should have been here and punished the hazard with our Freya. We should have been here and punished the Genji and healed Orisa. We should have been... You know what? Even back here, you have a better LOS on the Orisa, right? We should have done anything that isn't sit in our little corner and do nothing and stare at a wall. And then, when the Orisa's low, it forces TP Suzu because of how horrible our position is. And then we get punished for getting it forced. We're dead. So, I have a few more fights and some other players to look at. This is Violet's teammate. I think their name is 1. Yep. On a new map, and we're going to see, again, fight plan, how it's supposed to go. The priorities, right? Let's wait again until we get a good fight setup to look at. Yeah, this is pretty good, getting somewhere. Okay. Looking at this, Kiriko's here. Get to shoot, you get to shoot. You're near your team, you get to heal. This is Hazard, right? So he has Leap. Leap goes around to here. I mean, even if it goes to here, you know, whatever, it's still... Kiriko's playing outside of the range of Hazard, so she's safe. She's safe. She gets to poke this. She's doing pressure. She's doing damage. And she's near her team, right? Great Kiriko position. This is what you want at the beginning of the fight. If we can keep it. And shooting, shooting, shooting. Doing pressure. Look, that headshot's great. Still shooting. And now we're looking at our team. Looking at our team. Not shooting. We're looking at our team. We're looking at our team. and suddenly, we're dead. Not literally dead because TP Suzu, right? But... Go back. Right, like this is the last time we peek this corner. Then we look at our team. Look at our team. Look at our team. And now we go to peek this corner after having done nothing, by the way. My team is like full HP. They don't need help. You know? And now it's too late. Now everyone's already here. Like, imagine if we dink the Sojourner on the walk-up. Imagine if we do anything. Right? And there's even, you know, 2 ways that you could have looked at this. Safety is number 1, right? And safety is given by being here. But the other 2 things are not given. So either you go for pressure, which means he should have been shooting down this angle, or, you know, you could have even just gone with your team and gone over here. This is still a pretty good position. But instead, We're forced out. Now the Sojourn is alone. We used all of our cooldowns. We didn't do any damage. We didn't do any pressure. And now we're stuck down here. Let's see what we do. We're not shooting anything. We're not doing anything. We're continuing to get pressured. Not doing anything. Not doing anything. Barely doing something in a completely unsafe position. And we're punished. Like... we're forced out. And... we didn't have to get forced out. We did this to ourselves by just sitting there in the corner and doing nothing. And not pressuring and not healing and not... like, neither played with your team nor pressured. You just sat there. And instead, you could have either pressured these people out, and if you pressured, you can also see them and walk away from them. Or, you know, keep shooting them and make them not come. Or you could be here. You could be pressuring at this Has. You could be helping your Soj live this, right? This would be an amazing position for the Kiriko to be. You can shoot all these people. You can help your team. You know, it's not necessarily safe because of the Has. You know, maybe even now, after the TP Suzu to the Orisa, we should be, I don't know, we can wall climb up this thing, right? We should be getting back to this fight. We need to be here. And instead, we do nothing. And then we take the unsafest thing ever. Now we're doing pressure, sure. But this is so unsafe. This is literally in the middle of their team. And then we get punished for it, as we should, you know. Okay, I have one more fight here. So we were set up on a high ground and shooting. Now we're on low ground. Still shooting. Having some nice dinks. Heat happens. TP Suzu. Trying to do damage and heal our reset. Oh, she's dead. Kitsune rush in, doing damage, doing damage, doing damage, doing pressure. Oh great, 2 kills. It almost looks like the Kiriko did a lot. But, you know, did not. Did that rhyme, that was bars.
I'm grateful.
Let's get back to better position. So, my Kiriko right now is doing fuck all. There is a big high ground here. It's very hard to shoot past. You saw from her angle, she got a few dinks, but it's very difficult to really get value that you want, right? And then over time, we also walk up further, right? We walked up to here to keep shooting, right? We walked here to keep shooting, right? And the problem with these positions is that they're in hazard range. He can leap to you. This one is fine here, but it's still low ground. It's still not the pressure we want. It's still not the team play we want, right? So you have two options. You could think about playing somewhere here. Pretty good. It's just a better pressure angle. It just does more damage. And this one here is not as safe though. You know what is safe though? The high ground we started out at. We could be here with our Sojourn on the high ground, shooting for free with a full vision cone of the entire map, right? We could be like the Busan one, where we're the server admin and we see everything and we shoot everything. This would have been a great position to start out at. And then, as the fight develops, like I said, we walk up a little bit. We almost get punished. And then we do take the rotate a little bit, but not really. So here, if we're looking at this rotate, look at the Sojourn again and her position. This entire time, she's safe, and she is shooting. She's doing what my Kiriko is supposed to be doing. My Kiriko could have been here and rotated like this. Just like the Sojourn, you can shoot this entire time. You can still shoot. There's so much value to be had, right? So much pressure. And it's much safer and much better pressure because you're not as close. You're at a better angle because this is a high ground. And um, the final thing is you also get to be with your Sojourn and help her out. You know, Sojourn with Kiriko is better than Sojourn and Kiriko on their own. And you get to see this in a bit because now we need to go help our Sojourn. We probably didn't need a TP Suzu there. We kind of micro mistake. We overdid it. But we needed to be with our Sojourn. That was the right play. And we realized it super late, but we could have been there. We could have been here the entire time, right? Um, and we could have been shooting with the Sojourn the entire time. We could have had vision of everything that's going on. And the problem is also that because of the way we were forced to look at the Sojourn, our vision cone turned from this to this, right? We turned around. And we're also much further away from anything. And while we turned around, we don't know what's happening. Could have been here, this, which turns into here, see this. You know, maybe we still turn around to help our soldier a little bit at some point, right? But during the rotate, during this entire time, there's just more time spent looking ahead and knowing what's happening. And this is a problem because instead of seeing her for, let's say, 2 seconds, right? We looked at her for 2 seconds during this rotate, and now we're looking at Sojourn. We didn't look at her because we TP Suzu'd, and now we're looking at Sojourn, right? 2 seconds less. And in those 2 seconds, she's being shot by 3 people. She's taking a 3v1. And now, we're about to turn back around to her. And now it's even worse. She's still taking now 4 people, right? And we didn't know it was happening. And the worst part is, we could have done something about it, right? If we were here, Kiriko and Sojourn, and we're taking this rotate, we could have just been shooting. All of these people here. Kiriko, Tracer, Sojourn, Lucio. They're all shooting our Orisa. All of them. But just now, Kiriko was here, Sojourn and Lucio, I think, as well. And all of them could have been shot and pressured. Imagine if we hit a Kiri headshot, right? And then she can't walk, and then she has to go back. Maybe our Tracer does something, you know? Maybe we're healing the Orisa and we Suzu her, and we also shoot Lucio, and Sojourn sees us and decides to shoot us instead, right? That splits the pressure. It makes our Orisa not take as much damage. And we're not doing any of that because we haven't done any pressure. We haven't contributed anything to the fight. All we did was sit around and then TP Suzu away. And then at the end, we get like a cool double kill with our Kitsune Rush, but it was too late. We didn't see anything. We didn't see the opportunity when we actually needed it, right? Okay, one more fight for a good example. Just a very simple example is all I want to do. I'm from the enemy team. We're set up around here. We're set up pretty aggressively.
What's
We
up?
TP out. Okay, the fight's starting. Let's look at our setup. We have Kiri here. She has superposition. She sees everything. She knows exactly what's happening, right? And she can shoot. And she's on a high ground. And she's near her team, right? This is the perfect positioning. This is what I was talking about earlier. This fulfills all of the criteria. And you just get to shoot and interact. You get to do something, right? You get to play the game. And you're playing the game for free. He's so far away. Look at how far away this is. No one's ever attacking her. So she just gets to play the game. You just get to play for free. You love playing the game, right? Just play. Then let's play. All you have to do is shoot and heal. He's not doing anything special. He's just sitting there, shooting and healing a little bit. Look, we have LOS on our support, on our tank, and healing. We also have LOS on them, we keep shooting them. We can walk in when the opportunity is there.
I'm with you. My gift
And we
to
TP
you.
out, and we're safe again. Now again, we're on the top, we're shooting. We can see people, we know when to Kitsune Rush. We can see and shoot and Kitsune Rush, and we can also heal. Bang, nice pick. Huh? He didn't even need Kitsune Rush, look. See? Free Elo. Free Elo. What did he do? What did this Kiriko player do that was special? What did they do? Nothing. They just didn't int, right? All they did was sit up here and shoot people, and they also did some healing their teammates sometimes. And when it was time to, and when the when you can't see anyone here, she swung wide and shot like this. That's all she did. All this Kiriko had to do was sit in a sit in a safe location and live. Shoot enemies, right? Free shooting from her safe location. And sometimes she also healed and Suzu'd. That was it. She just sat there in her safe little bunker, super far away. But she was always doing something. She was pressuring. She was using that safety to play the game and do something. That's, the difference. And, no hate to any of these players. All of these players had good fights and bad fights. EGS had plenty of ints. Violet had a good fight or two as well, right? But I just wanted to show you that it's very easy to find the position that goes after these three priorities and the most important part is we saw in the setup most of the time they had a good setup. I think there's only one fight where the setup was actually the problem. Most of the times it was a good setup that turned bad because we made a mistake, because we gave up the setup, because we decided to do less because we were scared. You don't need to be scared. You can just sit in your perfect setup and be God mode and shoot people for free. You just shoot. You just play the game for free. Okay. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. And go out there and be awesome Kiriko players. See ya.